All right, well, here we go. Thank you to Coach Baker, Coach Astorino. Thank you to the boosters that put on this night. It's a special night. It's the culmination of our year. And it's a little sweeter this year because we are the Section 2 Class A champs. I was going through my notes and looking through last year's and you know, my outline and things like that, and I came across my closing remarks for 2015, and I thought, what better spot to start than where we were a year ago today. My closing remarks in 2015, we had just lost a semifinal game to Shaker. We were not in the finals for the first time in 6 years. And I think everybody realized that it doesn't just happen. You just don't put on the Shen jersey and go out and make it to a sectional final, win the sectional finals, advance in the state playoffs. So you know, this was my closing remark, and we'll start here. This has been a humbling year for Shen Lacrosse. There are many glimpses of lacrosse this year that makes me believe that we can be great. We showed flashes of greatness in big games. The challenge for the coming year will be finding ways to sustain it for a full game. The time is now to put in the work needed to get back to the top of Section 2. Success doesn't just happen. Okay? Those are the words I said as we finished our banquet last year. You're sitting amongst a bunch of kids that bought in, that figured it out. You're sitting with a bunch of kids where you see the power of friendships, not letting each other fail. And it took us a while to put together a full game this year, but we did it at the right time. And that is a testament to the work that these guys put in. We started summer lifting hours last year, a week from now. There was 9th graders, there was an 8th grader, there were 7th graders, there were seniors, there were juniors. And they committed themselves to that room. They sacrificed maybe going to Lake George for the evening or things like that, for a goal. And you saw a group of kids with a common goal come together and get it done. That is truly special. This year the varsity was 15-5, Section 2 Class A champs. JV was 10-5. The modified was 10-2 for a program record of 35-12. That is impressive. That is impressive. That is, again, goes back to the power of the group, the power of these friends that led the right way, that bought in and wouldn't let each other fail. I have thank yous up and down. We don't get to where we are. We don't have a banquet like this. We don't have auctions. We don't have bonfires. We don't have the things that we have without a ton of people putting in a lot of time. We also don't have that if we don't have wives that allow us the time to plan and do that. So first thank you goes to the wives and girlfriends. I think you all understand how much it means to the coaches to be able to get the best out of these young men and prepare them for life beyond Shen. So thank you. This story will pretty much epitomize everything and how much lacrosse and how much the Shen Lacrosse program means to me. It is November 3rd. The Tully tournament is November 6th and 7th. I am driving my wife in labor to Bellevue to deliver our second child. I get a text at a red light from Paulie Tabano. Hey coach, Shen's not on the Tully schedule. It's our second kid, so I'm a little bit more calm about my wife being in labor. So I get to the circle, the pull-up circle at Bellevue, which is where you drop the pregnant wife off that's in labor. And I am sending a quick email to Bill Hardy at Tully saying, hey, you know, I am freaking out, we're not on the schedule, and I've played a lot of lacrosse, I've gotten checked pretty hard. I got a good, swift backhand to the shoulder saying, hey, we gotta go. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So that's what my wife deals with. That's my brain, you know, and I appreciate her and love her for the sport I get. And the kick in the ass I get every now and then when I need to. So keeps me grounded. And thank you, Molly, for looking out for the boys. My coaches, I can't do it alone. You know, Chad Hagner, Bob Carl, awesome. You know, both of them Shen grads, both of them have been a part of teams that looked a lot like this year's. You know, just kids that refused to lose, kids that never gave up. You know, so having them in the fabric of this program is really, really important. And I think they've done a great job. They put in a ton of time. They love the sport and they love being around the guys, and that's a big part of it. The lower levels, Mark Baker, Joe Lesta was a great addition this year. Mark Baker, you know, is really, you know, coming into his own as a coach. I got to watch him a lot. He did a lot of our summer lifting hours, where he really started to bond with these guys and spend some time outside of lacrosse, just getting to know them. And that's the fun thing about coaching. That's the fun thing about doing what we're doing is getting to know these young men and helping them kind of reach a goal maybe they didn't think they could. So to my JV coaches, thank you. Mike Astorino and Chad Schneider down at the modified level, you guys have done a tremendous job. The number one thing I want out of I don't care if they ever win a game. The number one thing I want from those kids is a passion for more. A passion to love the game, practice on their own, that intrinsic motivation to make them do it on their own. And we're getting that. You know, this is now our third year of Modified, and we're seeing it. And we're seeing kids that love the game. We're seeing kids that can't get enough. Honestly, the most followers I have on Twitter are all the Modified kids. So they've helped me become a little bit of a Twitter sensation. So thank you. You also saw it this year. You know, these guys are truly happy for the guys that they've helped along. And I know they like the wins and losses, the wins. I know they like the good record. Okay, but where they get the most satisfaction, and I see it in the younger coaches' eyes, is watching guys that they've coached succeed at the varsity level. And that's what we have here. Everybody here, everybody at this table is helping these guys be successful at the next level. You see Coach Baker on the sideline as he got to be, you know, once his season ended. You know, he was super pumped, very excited for the guys when they come off the field and made a good play. Keeping him up, you know, he really enjoyed it, he really embraced it. And part of it is the time that he's put into those kids, now seeing them succeed on the highest stage. So that is awesome. That is what he's doing for your boys, and I thank him for it. Mike Astorino, same thing. He got his first player that made the jump from modified to varsity. He's on the sideline for our Saratoga sectional game. Eric Montazzi's kind of breakout game, his 5 goals. I just looked down and he has got the biggest, excuse my language, shit-eating grin on his face because he feels a part of it, and he should. Sorry, cover Mark's ears. You can't know I talk like that. So seeing that in the coaches is a great thing to see, because I know that they're going to follow your boys through the program. They're going to support your boys through the program, and that's a good sign for years to come. Program thank yous. Alan Barger, what can we say? Again, you talk about the fabric of Shen Lacrosse, and at the forefront, he's right there. He's at all of our games. He's capturing, your son's greatest moments. These are awesome to see. Like all the pictures, they will have them forever. They will remember this time forever because of Al. We had, I don't know if people know, but the reason why we had the American flag on the Shen for this year's shooting shirt was kind of a symbol to get to Memorial Day weekend. If you're playing on Memorial Day weekend or around Memorial Day weekend, if you're playing lacrosse at that time, you're doing something right. The guys, the captains, the returning players loved the idea. We ran with it. We were practicing on Memorial Day weekend. Al came in and gave the boys a talk. It took me a long time to realize, but it was a sectional semifinal game a long time ago, national anthem, looking at the flag, and, it's not just a weekend off. It's not just, the beginning of summer. It's something really, really special. And you look at that flag, and a lot of people have sacrificed a lot so we can live the way that we can live. And Al was able to come in and just talk to the boys, and hopefully it inspired them to maybe ask a grandfather or relative questions or something like that to what it was truly like. So something special, and I thank Al for it. Victor Stucci, Barb Hubschmidt, thank you for an awesome job on the media guide. What's great is we have new pictures for next year. Keith Buff took over announcing duties this year. Was a little restrained the first game, and then Shen Lacrosse turned into like Wheel of Fortune, and Price is Right, and a little bit of like a game show host up there. So it was entertaining. So definitely look forward to our home games next year. His son's in 8th grade, going into 9th, so 8th going into 9th, 8th going into 9th. So he'll be around announcing for a while. Paul Tabano, thank you for the keeping stats. There were some years where stats got a little murky, so it's nice having him, put the time into it, and he does it well. So thank you. Maria Rainville, thank you for running the clock and the scoreboard. If you've been to a game in March, you know exactly why she's up there. Smart. Gary Putman, all the film work, you look on our websites, you can go back and you can watch a fall modified game, you can watch, a JV fall game, you can watch, every varsity game is filmed. So it's a great resource for us to have. It's a great thing that he did for us. I appreciate it, the coaches appreciate it, the kids appreciate it. And I remember walking out to the Gladiator tournament, there's snow on the field, and Gary has his schedule, and he's bouncing with the tripod from game to game, making sure everybody gets a little bit of coverage. And that's a great thing. He's also helping our guys out with college highlight tapes, which is a very important part of the recruiting process. So it's an invaluable tool. So thank you. Sheila McCartan, Danielle Sullivan, thank you for the auction. It's kind of the kickoff to the spring season. It's a great time to get together and kind of get to know everybody. And this year's was the most successful ever. So that was great. June Lazaro and Richard Barcore taking on concessions. We had a great year with the concession stand. So thank you for organizing that. And then to everybody who volunteered, JV, modified parents, it can't be open without your help, so thank you. Nikki Tabano for planning senior night. Very smooth, it was great night, great event, thank you. Julia, Patty, and Tom Newhall for the slideshow and the video. You know, it's awesome as usual. You know, great job. Erica Logori with the scrapbook. Funny story, last year's scrapbook, I got so tired of reading children's books that I actually started reading the scrapbook to my daughter. You know, so Owen Putman is her favorite player. I think she's trying to grow her hair out to be just like him. So thank you. I'm going to say it now because I'm going to forget later in regards to the scrapbook. There's a code on each picture and article that you can scan with your phone and bring it up. So very, very tech savvy. Krista Knudsen took on Lax Lago, therefore Eric Knudsen took on Lax Lago. Thank you for your help with that. Another big fundraiser for us. All the fundraising activities go into, you know, what you see tonight. You know, guys had brand new helmets this year. Next year we'll be traveling. You know, we'll need charter buses. All the stuff, all the fundraising is super important to, you know, this program staying where it is. Leaving the section, go play quality opponents, and you know, having the kids having a night like tonight. So thank you. And then Mr. LeBlanc and the committee for planning tonight's events. Thank you. So this year we did some things. We talked a lot about the kids, about being a citizen, about extra. Okay, give me more. You know, when you think you can't do any more, let's go a little farther. Let's try a little harder. Let's do a little bit more. And so I'm a person. I'm not going to ask that of the kids if I'm not willing to do it myself. So we wanted to find some. We understand the lacrosse season's a grind. You know, and this is a year that you know, we took some time to do some special things for the guys. We had a bowling night, so the varsity team, we met after practice and went bowling. Next year, there will be a dress code for that. I was a little bit loose with that, and they took full advantage, but it was fun. Zach Thomas bowled for the first time. Awesome. Nick Cosgrove can't bowl at all. Awesome. Too many lats, he just can't do it. You know, so he had a little bumper out, and it was all good. Coach Carl took it to Stooge bad. But it was fun, and it was competition. You know, we want to compete. We compete in the weight room. You know, these guys want to get one more rep than the guy next to them. You know, we go bowling. They want to compete. So it's fun ways to get the kids to compete, get the kids to, you know, take the lacrosse equipment off and have some fun. So definitely going to look to do that in the future. That was great. We organized a youth night. I don't know if you weren't there, it had the energy of a rock concert. It was awesome, and I truly believe it was the start to kind of the switching gears in our season. You know, we went from a bunch of guys that were tired, and there was a long grind, and we played 9 games in 16 days to all of a sudden it was, you know, and I think I saw that Anthony Tamano quote in the paper, it was like, we get it now. You know, we're playing for so much more than just ourselves. You know, and so we had that night, the reason for that night was so these guys could impress upon the younger kids, and because they want to be these guys someday. But what happened is it was the reverse. You know, these guys took something from the youth. These guys saw their energy, captured it, and we were off to the races, and we played really hard and really fast against Gilliland, and we made some mistakes, and that's fine. But then you saw it get cleaned up. We stayed playing hard, playing physical. We cleaned up the mistakes, and you saw the outcome. So awesome. 14 scholar athletes with an average of 90 or better on this team. That's over half, or that's half the team. 82% of the team with an average of 85 or better. Boys varsity lacrosse was a recipient of the Scholar Athlete Team Award. I don't know how many years ago this is, but it's just, it's showing that the boys are doing it on and off the field, which is great. We had 7 Suburban Council All-Stars this year. First team, Matt Kavanaugh, stand up. First team midfield, Matt Stucci. And first team attack, Owen Putman. Second team, all-league defenseman, Tim McCarthy. Honorable mention, all-league, Dakota Rainville. Mike Berman. And Anthony Tabano. We'll mention in this room, but trust me. Could all those people come up here, please? Right up front. When we talk about extra, we talk about going the extra mile, doing the extra work, okay? There's a reason why these guys are the best in the section. There's a reason why, okay? These are your Suburban Council All-Stars. A lot of it comes from within them. A lot of it also comes from their teammates. I go into a meeting and we have a much better chance of getting 7, 8 Suburban Council All-Stars if the team is successful. So everybody sitting down, everybody that helped us prepare, everybody that helped us practice is as much a part of it as they are. To get where they are, okay, you go down the list. Okay, Matt Stucci, the countless hours, okay, driving to play whenever, wherever he can. Countless. Owen Putman, same thing. Playing as much as he possibly can. He's the guy that's taking the ball bucket after every practice and shooting for an extra hour. Extra. The 2 hours in practice is not enough if you want to be great. Dakota Rainville, for the last month of the season, he ran a mile after every practice because his team knew that it needed him to be in tip-top shape, that we were going to run him into the ground, and he needed to be ready to do that. He played defense, he played offense, he faced off. Unbelievable. Matt Kavanaugh was at about 70% most of the year. He lived in the training room because his teammates needed him. And he had to be on the field. So there was an hour a day, either before practice, after practice, before a game, that he's in the training room. He could have been doing something else. Okay, he was in the training room for his team. Anthony Tabano. Okay, if Owen's grabbing the ball bucket, Anthony's going. Wants to be around the game. I drive by the turf on a Sunday, he's there. We leave and we have a couple days off. Coach, can I take the ball bucket? Coach, can I get a couple of balls? Yes, Anthony. Okay, it's the extra time. Tim McCarthy. Fall ball practice ended at 5:30. Most people went to Chipotle. He went to Syracuse for another practice. Because he cares, because he wants to be great. Mike Berman. Okay. I had Mike. Mike was a 5th grader my first year as a teacher here. Okay. Mike has been dedicated for the last year in making his senior year as memorable as it could be. He wanted a starting job. He didn't want to let it go. He knew what it would take to get there, and he did it. A disciplined diet, in the gym as much as he could be, and we all know that it paid off. Look at him. Okay, it's the extra time. These kids should be proud. What do you do? Hey, you guys, please. I'm done with you. Scholar Athlete Awards, you're going to come up, you're going to receive a pin. I'm going to read your GPA. First on the list, Will Hubschmidt, 97.7. Brendan Peichel, 95.4. He had to miss practice for a welding event. We haven't had many kids miss practice for a welding event. But he came back and he was so proud to show me the pictures, and he made a grill from scratch that I would want in my backyard. I'd want it bolted right to my deck. Awesome. Logan Vandenberg, 95. What's the title? Matt Stucci, 94.8. Dakota Rainville, 94.7. If you wear a sweater vest, you should pin it directly to your sweater. Go for it. Adam Marcory, 94.5. Anthony Tabano, 94. Justin LeBlanc, 91. Zach Thomas, 91. Colin Graves, 91. Jack Hyde, 90. It has to bring out as John Hyde. Is that your... We learn something new every day. Jeff Fry, 90. Owen Putman, 90. You told me 95. Doesn't make this room. Joey Nelson, 90. fun. So again, you know, these guys are doing it on the field, in the classroom, you know, tremendous representation of Shen. You know, great job. Thank you, you guys. Some other things that happen when you have a good team and you have a good record and you have a successful year is you get All-Americans. And this year we had 3. At defense, Matt Cavanaugh. At midfield, Matt Stucci. I have to go back, but I don't believe there's ever been a sophomore All-American in Section 2. I'd have to go back a little ways. So now the pressure is you have the opportunity to be a 3-time, don't fall on your face and be a 1-time. And the pressure mounts. And an academic All-American. You know, this is a distinguished player that they're recognizing for performance on the field, in the classroom, attending RPI next year, Owen Popman. Okay, we're going to individual player intros. You'll come up, you'll get your plaque, you'll get, hold on, I skipped ahead. Okay. Before we get to individual awards, we're going to do our team awards. Wanted to save team introductions for last. Coach Hager, you were the first person to give an award.
Coach Gifford asked me to hand out the Coach's Award. And when you think of a coach, the Coach's Award, you think of someone who's kind of an extension of the coach. And this player was assigned an off-season captain role, and he started directing and leading the kids right from last year at this time. And he was at all-season workouts, fall ball, winter ball, everything we had, and they kind of transitioned right into our season this year. And this player did a great job leading by example, and he also took players off to the side, took them under his wing, and said, hey, this is how we do things here. You know, you have questions, you find me. If you need extra work, you find me. I'll stay after for as long as it takes. And this player also was responsible for every pre-game speech, including the 1980 speech pre-Niski. And this year's Coach's Award goes to Matt Cavanaugh.
That award, I remember standing at the auction and talking to Mr. Cavanaugh, and Matt has been unbelievable. You know, since last year's seniors left, he excelled. He just flourished in a leadership role. You know, as a senior, those are going to be some of the biggest shoes to fill. We don't do what we do this year without the leadership of Matt Cavanaugh. You know, he's truly one of the great captains that we've ever had here. He goes up all the time with all the ones that I've been around. And he would never ask something of a player that he wouldn't do himself. You saw the kid lay out. I mean, in this even game, he is completely horizontal to get a trail check, you know, on somebody that's bearing down on Anthony. He's doing that for Anthony, he's doing that for his team, he's doing that so he can come out back to the huddle and demand more of his teammates. And they give it to him because they see what he's doing. So he's leading with his words, he's leading by example. Truly, truly special kid. Next, unsung hero. Take what I just said, and now all of a sudden I've got two guys that lead the right way, that demand excellence from their team, are there for everything. Off-season workouts, winter ball, he couldn't make all the fall ball, but he was there when he could be. Did so much for this team without necessarily the recognition in the paper or anything like that, but a 3-year starter. From the second he made varsity, he was with it, IQ-wise. He understood what was going on. He was telling seniors at the time where they're supposed to be, what they're supposed to do. IQ that he gained from just playing lacrosse, but also playing football, being an athlete. This year, had 28 goals and 4 assists for 42 points, which was third on the team. But he's not measured by the points. He's not measured by the points. He is measured by the culture that he's helped create around here, by what he's done for the program. Anything that I've ever asked of him, he has done, except for stop telling horrendous jokes. But and wearing shorts that are too short. But Dakota played offense, defense. If you watched us play this year, Dakota was often the lead dodger, which makes everything go. His job was to dodge as hard as he can, draw a slide so he's got 2 guys coming, to him, and then move the ball so that somebody else has an easier time. Not once did he ever complain about that role. He knew and understood that's what we needed him to do, and he did it, and he did it great. He led team workouts. He was a kid that I could say, Dakota, you have team workouts today. He would go in, he'd put the workout on the board, he'd track attendance to hold kids accountable. Kids that were new to the weight room, he helped do the right form, so they had the foundation to be successful after he's gone. Tremendous, tremendous leader. Great kid, can't say enough about him. This year's Unsung Hero Award goes to Dakota Randolph. Next up is Most Honored. Most Honored is a very important award here at Shen. It's somebody that means a tremendous amount to the program, who's represented the program the right way, and is just somebody that, you can tell stories about this person when they're gone, to help motivate younger players to be, all that they can be. This year's Most Honored was the hub of our offense. Again, if you watched us play, okay, he was the hub, he made everything go. He dictated where other teams had to slide from. We put this person in the middle, they slide from him, okay, you put our best shooter in front of the goal, all right, with a wide open look, and it literally turned out well for the other team. They didn't want to slide from there, we moved him to behind the goal, so that Dakota could draw 2, move it to him, and he would beat his guy and score there. He made it easier for everybody else around him to know what was going on because he dictated where other teams had to slide from. So just by him being on the field, he was making others more successful. He led the team in goals with 57. He finished his senior season with 74 points and 154 career points as a 3-year starter. That puts him 8th all-time at Shenandoah, between Tim Cole and Trevor Mono. So you're on the list. He was a first-team selection at Attack an academic All-American, excelling on and off the field. He opened doors for himself by being good in the classroom, by being good on the lacrosse field, and being an all-around good person. This year's most honor goes to Owen Putnam. We got to the end of the season and we're like, who's our MVP? And the coaches looked at each other and were like, I don't know. We don't know. Mr. Graves, you have to give us through the playoffs. I'll get you the names, but it needs to wait a couple weeks because it needs to play out, you know, when the stage is the biggest, when it's win or go home. We got to the end of our season, bus ride home from Lakeland. We get home, it's 1:30 in the morning, and I'm like, who's the MVP? And this is the first time that I've had to do it, but this year, Shannon Lacrosse has co-MVPs. We would not have been successful without these two players. We would not have gotten to where we are without them. Both of them were major contributors on either side of the field. The first is Anthony Tabano. We come into the year and we want to play a certain way. And Coach Hagner has a tough time just kind of laying back. He has a tough time not going after the opponent at all times. You know, it's nice to have a coach that I have to reel in now and again. But Anthony allowed us to go out and take chances. Because you go out, you take chances, you push somebody a little farther than they're comfortable going, you get beat, maybe, but Anthony's there to make up for it. While we were figuring out the pieces of the puzzle, okay, Anthony was there. He was solid, we knew what we had in him, we were confident in what we had, and we knew that he would bail us out. And quite frankly, he wanted it. A couple of times I'm like, Anthony, we got to give you a night off one of these nights, you know, maybe a 5-save game or, you know, just kind of lay off. He's like, Coach, keep him coming. I love it. 252 saves on the season. Save percentage is 64%. "13 games with double-digit saves. 5 games with 18 or more saves. And Mr. Cullen has given him the nickname Jim Craig. Ryan Fenton is sitting at the sectional championship game, and he looks to Mr. Cullen and he says, "You're watching like Jim Craig, like he's just having one of those nights, one of those performances, and we need every one of them." And like I told Mr. Tabano, I'll take him as an honorable mention with a chip on his shoulder any day of the week. You were actually first team. I was just. We did say co. The other half of the duo was a team leader in points with 84, team leader in assists with 38, led the team from the midfield and attack spot with 71 ground balls. You look at you know, the ways you can help your team. You know, what is going to make us great? Assists, get other people involved. Ground balls, get us the ball so we can be successful. To lead in those two areas is pretty special. Averaged 4.2 points a game. Played offense, played defense, came off of just about every wing, on most of the face-offs. And he was the team lead with 15 points in the playoffs. That's Gucci. To be perfectly honest, that was the hardest group of individuals to give an award to. Every single one of them is so important to this team, so important to what we're trying to do, so important to what we're building, and just had fantastic seasons. Okay. Next up, we talked about extra, and we talked about going the extra mile, and we talked about me, the coaching staff, asking extra from the kids, and we can't do that if we're not going to go the extra mile. Coach Carl, had some ideas that he wanted to present. I had some ideas that I wanted to present to kind of help to build a locker room culture. To kind of use symbols to remind us, what we're doing, why we're playing, and things that we need to do to be successful. My idea, I look at sports and metaphors and symbolism. A chain kept coming to mind. A team is 28, 30, 40, whatever individuals that need to come together for a common goal. And the chain is stronger than the individual link. This year's chain was stronger than the individual link. We compete against each other in the preseason. We make a green team and a white team, and we compete against each other to make us the best we can be. The second the first game comes, we go from competing against each other to playing for each other. And that's the symbol of the chain. And it couldn't have turned out better, because if you look at that chain, it is beaten up, it is scratched, it has been through a lot, but it's still together. And it's the chain of the Section 2 chain. The hard work that this team put in is represented in that chain. And Coach Carl, you want to come up and talk about the hammer? I do.
So, the hammer. Like Coach was saying, we came up with something that really symbolized work. Something that changed the game, whether it be a big hit, a big goal, something that changed the momentum of the game. That player would get the hammer for the game. The biggest thing that I thought was cool about it was it's given by the player. So whoever got it the game before, gives it to the next guy for that game, and then whoever got it the most gets to keep it. So this year, the hammer goes to Home Putnam, and
You guys can rotate every week. It'll keep it in contact. Some things that got the hammer, just all-out effort, exciting plays. Our first game we played Schenectady, and Tommy Sullivan got the hammer for just an exciting play that got everybody into the bench, everybody on the bench into the game, everybody excited. Senior night, it went to Joey Fish, you know, for just going hard, eating soup out there, having fun, just being Joey. You know, kids loved it, and you know, so it was, you know, everybody got to be a piece of that team, and those two won it 3 times each. Congratulations, and you know, again, thank you for everything you guys have done. All right. Okay, individual players. All right, players are going to come up, they're going to be called up by their positionary coach. You're going to get a plaque, you're going to get a media guide, and you're going to get either a letter, a varsity letter if it's your first varsity sport, or an insert if it is your second varsity season or second varsity sport. So Coach Hagner, you want to come up and start with the D?
All right, we're gonna go from sophomores to seniors. Sophomores to seniors. We're gonna start off with number 3 sophomore, Hunter Rainville. He did a great job this year. He played solid defense. You know, he filled it nicely with our crew, and we look forward to a healthy Hunter next season. Number 17, sophomore defenseman, Ryan Behe. First year at varsity. He really grew as a player and a person this year, and you know, we really value his contributions, and I look forward to seeing him in the future. Moving on to juniors, we have number 1, that is number 1, Nick Cosgrove. He is by far the strongest kid on this team, and he converted from short stick to long pole this year. It's actually his first year ever playing lacrosse, and he did a great job with us. Number 6, junior defenseman, Brian Ralph. Brian took advantage of a lot of feedback. You know, he asked a bunch of questions at the beginning of the year, and you know, he just grew into a starting role this season, and his questions and willingness to learn really helped him progress, and I'm looking forward to working with him next year. Number 21, junior defenseman Joey Nelson. Joey's a great guy to have around. He uses his lengthiness to pick off passes. He scored the first long pole goal of the season, and the crowd went nuts. It was awesome, and I'm really looking forward to working with him next year as well. Number 13, junior defenseman Tim McCarthy. Timmy did an outstanding job this season. I couldn't be prouder of his progress from last year to this year. His communication was excellent on the field, his work ethic, his willingness to compete. Timmy ended up second on the team in ground balls with 61, and you know, we're looking forward to his growth as a player and leader next season. Number 30, senior defenseman Colin Graves. Last season, Colin was hurt, and you know, he did anything he could to help out the team. He took stats for us, and this year I was psyched because he actually he got to practice with us, he got to play with us, and at most of the games he actually left barely able to talk because he was just always there for his teammates, trying to help out in any way. So thank you very much, Colin. We're going to mix in some goalies here. Number 23 senior, Brendan Peichel. In second grade, and he refuses to give me a hug or a high five many days. But it's pleasure working with him the past 2 years. We have a lot of fun together, and his commitment to the team has been unbelievable. We're going to move to our next senior goalie, number 27, Dan McClintock. They like to call him Secret Service Agent Dan, because he will do anything to stop the ball from going into the goal. And another kid who did anything he could. He was even filling water for the kids on super hot days. Working with those two every day has been it's been a blast for me. I hope they enjoyed it. They supported their teammates. It made my day brighter every time I saw them, and I definitely want to thank those two. Thank you, boys. Definitely going to miss our pre-practice shoot-around. Moving back to our defenders, number 24, senior defenseman Mike Berman. I always knew that Mike would bring the hammer with his checks, but this season he grew to be more than just a physical presence. He began playing smarter this year. He really took feedback from his coaches, and he even managed to go a three-game stretch without getting a penalty, which was impressive. It was great, and he was third on the team in ground balls. He would come off the wing for us sometimes. He'd play close for us, wherever we needed, and just want to thank you for your hard work, Mike. All right, number 25, senior defenseman Matt Kavanaugh. Kevin, he's grown so much. Where are your parents right now? You guys should be so proud of the growth of this kid. He's come so far since he was a freshman. He's senior captain. You already heard the wonderful things. Coach Gifford actually stole some of the things that I was going to say in his player introduction. But just quick recap. He was hurt for most of the season. You probably couldn't tell. He made life so easy for us because we put him on the other team's best player, and the kid would be a non-factor. Couldn't thank him enough for all his hard work, dedication, and just changing the culture of this program. And it's been awesome to have you. Thank you, Matt, for this. And I'm going to let Coach Carl introduce Anthony, because he worked with Anthony every day for shoot-arounds. And I got to see Anthony every day too, but you got to wait.
Anthony's fine. I got the privilege of warming him up every day, which was awesome. Anthony had one of the best teams I've ever witnessed in goal. Without him, we were a completely different team. I got the chance to see him grow into a leadership role this year, which is great. He comes to practice every day trying to get better, even when he has 20-plus saves the night before. I know he's going to improve over the summer, and I can't imagine what he's going to do next year. At the end of the season, like Coach said, with 254 saves, I look forward to what he's going to do next year. So, congrats. I'm going to move on to the attack. Eric Martazzi. Eric was a freshman. He was by far our most improved player this year. At one point, I mentioned to Coach Giff, I said that I could see him getting better each rep in practice, which is a pretty cool thing to witness. We really looked at him to step into a starting role towards the end of the season, which for a freshman, could be a little intimidating. He took full advantage of this opportunity and was a big factor in our success this year. He ended the season with 16 points, and I can't wait to see what he's going to do next year. Pierce William. Pierce had an awesome season this year. We moved him back down to attack a few weeks up at Midi, and I think that's where he feels most comfortable. He stepped up and had a few clutch goals in the playoffs and ended the season with 15 goals, 18 assists, 33 points overall. Looking forward to a great junior year out of Pierce. So, congrats. Logan Vandenberg. Logan had a good junior year. He's turned into an awesome crease attackman. He catches anything you throw him and can finish anything he catches. I really look forward to him helping us next year. Joey the Fish. Joey, aka Sticky Toes, had an awesome year. Something that stands out to me was senior night. Joe had, did you have 3 goals? 2 goals. And the boys gave him he got the hammer at the end of the game. You could see all the guys on the sideline so jacked up and happy for him because they've seen him put the time and work in the past few years, and it definitely paid off. I wish him the best next year, and we're definitely going to miss him. Owen Putnam. Owen started the season last July being an off-season captain and really dedicated the guys to the weight room. The leadership that he has shown on and off the field is amazing. He was voted an academic All-American, which just goes to show what he did, off the field. Owen was one of our go-to offensive guys this year, ending the season with 57 goals, 17 assists, and a total of 74 points. I'm certainly not going to miss those horrific shorts he wears every day, but I'm definitely going to miss him, and I wish him the best of luck. So. And Coach Giff for the Minis.
Okay, first up, midfield, Adam Barcory. Adam towards the end of the season to help the team out, we needed depth at midfield. He had 30 goals and 8 assists. So, he told me, he's like, I really like being in front of the goal. He did a great job getting downhill, good shooter from in front of the goal, and was definitely a key member of this year's team and the success we had. Jeff Fry. I can count the team lifts that Jeff missed on one hand, and he was in the weight room constantly. It's something that we talked about in last year's exit interview. Jeff Fry is leaving Lacrosse as a section champ with a very meaningful role in some big games. He came out and he played some D-Midi for us this year, short stick D-Midi. Did a fantastic job. He understands what's going on out there. He can run the field. He can make good decisions, and that is a very underrated quality that Jeff brought for us. So he made his own opportunity. He worked for something. He didn't like his role last year. He went out and changed it. He did something about it. Couldn't be more proud of him. And you saw it in the Section 2 championship game. Jeff Fry had a flawless performance at defensive midfield. On ball, sliding, clearing. Every moment he was on the field was important, and he made the most of us. Congrats. Hayden Haldane. The man of a million stories. Hayden was a great addition to the roster this year. Hayden brought something that the coaching staff wanted. He is an intense competitor. He has one speed, and he won't turn it off for anything, whether it's practice, whether it's a game. He missed some time early, But we knew as a coaching staff that he'd help us in May, and he would make our team better because our guys would have to practice against him every day. And he rose to the challenge. He did a great job, and his intensity in practice definitely made us better. So thank you, Dave. Jack Hyde. Jack's a fantastic example of making the most out of an opportunity. Some roster spots opened up early on in the season, and we got the shopping cart out, as Coach Ruland used to say, and headed down to JV, and we picked a few players. Jack was somebody that would help us out in the midfield. Came up, had a little bit of a deer in the headlights look early on. But I don't know if he's grown at all, but he looks taller, he looks bigger, he's a little more confident, he carries himself a little differently. So he's a kid that he doesn't talk much that you know of, but he's got plenty to say. I've heard of him. But he just came every day to work, and he was a sponge. He took in everything the coaches were telling him. He worked hard in every drill. He earned the respect of his teammates. He wasn't handed anything. And you heard him when he would score a goal or something like that, the sideline would erupt. And that was the respect Jack earned from his teammates. So we're looking for a big year out of him next year. I think he'll have a great future. Great IQ, great skills, and take him far. Will Hubschmidt. Will was a first-year varsity player, worked hard every day in practice, really got a feel for life at the varsity level, competed every day, wanted to face off against anybody and everybody he could, did a really, really nice job. Season highlight for him was 56% at the face-off X for Safeco Park, got to the ball, did a really nice job, and look forward to him working in the off-season, improving, and really being a contributor next year. Michael Zera. Mike finished his senior year with 34 points. What a fantastic example of how far heart and hard work and dedication can take you. Not the biggest guy in the field, but he plays way bigger than he is. Huge goals for us. I think the tying goal and a 3-goal run against Shaker to get us to overtime. Big goal in the sectional final, calming down a little bit after a nervous couple of shifts. What a competitor, great job on the field, great job increasing his role as the years went on. He's a guy that we asked to go from attack last year to midfield this year to add depth to that position. And you saw him just be instantly a little bit more comfortable. And, he would get the ball off the pass and it looked like he was shot out of a cannon. Great job, and couldn't be more proud. And it's one of those guys that when I talk to younger guys about, what you can do and what you can be, he is an example of that. Justin the Boot LeBlanc. Our number one goal moving forward is to keep him out of the boot. If I had one word to describe Justin, it would be competitor. He loves to compete. He loves to mix it up. He loves to, just be out there with his teammates, doing anything he can to win. I learned more, and we go back to why we schedule our non-league games. He comes off of, a JV season. Well, he missed the JV season last year, not playing much, so we throw him into midfield against a defending state champ. and he fought and fought and fought, and didn't always come out on the winning end, but after that game, we knew we had something special in Justin, because he didn't back down. He kept coming, he kept coming, he kept coming, and, ended up getting a goal in a nice big stretch for us, so, love to compete. Before the Colony game, we were in the locker room outside, and he comes up to me he's the only player fully dressed, his cleats are on, uniform's on. It's about 3 hours before the game. I don't know how long I'm like, Justin, what's going on? He's like, Coach, I have to tell you something. Like, what? He goes, I couldn't do PE today because I had a stress fracture in my foot. I'm ready to go. Like, Justin, I can't play. Come on, Coach. Justin, you can't play. All right. He went back in, took all the stuff off, put his boot on, but was with the guys, filling waters, helping, guys on the clamp, talking to the face-off guys about what the face-off guy was doing, so constantly into it, the whole time that he couldn't play. So, great job, Justin. Dakota Rainbow. Three-year varsity starter, great IQ for the game, understands what's going on. He's one of those guys that sees plays coming kind of 2-3 passes before, and is there to let other guys know what's going on. Comes off the field, he's the first one to say, hey, next time we do that, watch for this guy sliding here, and we'll take advantage of that. And to go along with the 42 points, third on the team in points. It's the leadership. It's what makes him that helped made our team so successful this year. So thank you, Dakota. Matt Stucci. Anybody see the Goldbergs? Anybody watch the Goldbergs? The youngest one? Just a second. Matt is one of the toughest competitors, that I've ever been around. He wants to compete at everything. It goes back to last year when Joey Bucciarelli wanted to go upstairs and go on the treadmill. Matt would be like, Joey, how long are you going for? I don't know, do 10 minutes. I'm gonna do 12. It was just, it's constant. It's constant, and he loves to compete. He thrives in that environment, and it's why he's, as successful as he is. One stat that people don't know about him is that he chewed through 4 mouthpieces in the pregame for the sectional final. He was a mess. We're like, what is wrong with this kid? I've learned from dealing with goalies that you just leave them alone and just let them go, and it turned out all right. Tommy Sullivan. Tommy finished his first year of the varsity, 16 goals, 10 assists. What was great about Tommy is just his knack for the exciting play. He loved to, run the field. He's super athletic when he gets between the lines, makes some great catches, great shooter, great stick, loves to cut. Our 3-goal comeback against Shaker started with him getting the ball out of the defensive end, clearing the ball, giving it to Pierce, quick give and go. He sees stuff, it's just a play that was there to be made, and he made it. And he showed up in some really big moments. Look forward to a really, really fun senior year with Tommy. Zach Thomas. Zach was, a valuable member of this year's team. Really, really proud of him. He took 212 faceoffs this year. And there's not a scratch on him. You know, like going into that, you know, it might be Park Terminator or something. To battle, okay, to go in there and battle over and over the way that Zach did is truly commendable. It is a really, really tough thing to do, and he wasn't any worse for wear for doing it. Part of it is his just dedication to gym. You know, we'll get a team lift, and everybody will be doing something with Dakota right on the board, and Zach will be like, I don't even know, I haven't even seen this stuff, but he is unbelievably strong. Loves to be in the weight room and compete in there, and you know, had 7 goals for us this year. I'm looking forward to a great senior campaign from Zach. So you heard words like compete and extra and together and leadership. This group here embodies all of it. Couldn't be more proud. A great example of don't listen to what people tell you. Don't listen to the people that tell you you can't win section. Don't listen to the people that say you can't be an All-American or you can't be an All-League player. Don't listen to the person that says, you know what, you didn't play much on JV, you don't have a chance at varsity. Okay? Don't listen to that. Okay? If you want to change, if you want to make a difference, go out and do it. Go out and make it happen. You can. A year is a really long time. We were sitting in this room a year ago, okay, humbled, talking about how we're ever get back to a sectional championship game, what has happened, okay, and here we are, the Class A, Section 2 champs, right in front of us. In closing, really special year for me. You know, birthed my son, you know, watching my daughter grow, doing all of that, you know, with my wife's support, and getting these guys, you know, memories that'll last a lifetime. You know, we talk about why we do what we do. And we talk about, you know, if you put your time in, you know, you will be rewarded. We talk about, you know, luck doesn't just happen, you make it. This group did it. Couldn't be prouder of them. I have to say a huge thank you to the seniors. You know, really, really proud of you. And you can, every time you come back to Clifton Park, every time you come back to Shen, okay, you are a Section 2 champion. You know, you come back and you watch a game, and you're in that basketball gym, and your number, your year will be on that banner forever. You did it, you earned it. Couldn't be happier for you. Now, the other side of that, the guys that are returning, all right? You have gone from the hunter to the hunted. Okay, it's a different role to be in. The JV guys, the sophomores that are looking to come out and contribute to next year's team. Okay, you are going to walk into a hornet's nest every time you play an opponent. Okay, that's what the seniors have left for you. Okay, so thank them. You'll be just fine, but you got to work. You got to buy in. You got to compete with your friends, and you got to love what you're doing and be passionate about it. Thank you to this year's team. You know, our goal at the beginning of the year was let's get to a sectional final. Let's get to a sectional final. Let's see what happens. We get there, we advance, we win a section. Next year's goal, win the section, get deeper in the states. Okay, we owe it to these seniors. Last year's seniors feel a part of what they started here. Keep it growing, keep it going, and it's going to be exciting to watch. Thank you.
Actually, I'm going to grab the mic one more second. There was one more Section 2 award that was given that Coach Gifford is too humble to talk about, but he was the Section 2 Coach of the Year this year.
First, I'd like to thank the Nelsons for awarding us this last year. And I can proudly say we only forgot it once. And thank you to the McContacts for catching that and giving it to Dakota so we didn't lose it. But I have to say, it was on our sectional to win, so we were a little bit distracted that day. Dan's come up with some rules for this for next year, so I'll let him talk about that.
I think it'd be a good idea if you had a backup family, so you don't lose it. I think you should nominate one when you get this. Another good rule is there's no give-backs. We decided to give this to the moms.